I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. Today I want to talk about something that I feel is extremely important into attaining any sort of success with absolutely anything in this life, whether that be something monetarily, whether that be a goal with something materialistic like a car, or whether that be something with like your physique and becoming aesthetic. Whatever it may be, the core principle of getting a goal that you want comes down to one basic thing. And that's starting with having the idea in your mind and then actually taking action on that idea. But taking action on an idea isn't always as simple as people make it out to sound. You know, you can hear a million people just say take action over and over and over again, but if they don't exactly tell you how to take action, then you're never going to get anywhere because you don't know what the first step is to take. And the first step for everybody is not exactly the same. So that's what can make this extremely difficult, because you never know what's right and what's wrong. You never know if you should be doing this one thing that this one guy says, or if you should be doing this thing that this other guy says. But if you're somebody that's like me, then something that plagues you a lot in this life is an overwhelming amount of stress and anxiety, or just simply is overthinking. And it causes you to want to do something and strive to do something every single day, but the more you think about it, the more it just really starts to beat into your mind, and then you just become overwhelmed and then self-sabotage by doing a whole lot of nothing and just wasting your day away. And now stress is extremely important to actually have drive and motivation and have a pushing force, have pain pushing you forward to get towards your goal. But if you're too stressed and too overwhelmed, you're not going to get to where you need to be because your mind's going to be too clouded. And now, it's not as difficult as it may seem. While it is going to be difficult to finally make that first step, and it is going to be difficult to continue pushing, if you can just know within your mind that you're going to do whatever it takes to actually achieve that goal, then you're going to get it. And it's already yours. Because every single goal that anybody in this world, anybody in this life has accomplished, started with a thought in their mind. And then they took that thought in their mind and they worked backwards and found out, what do I have to do in order to make that goal possible? So starting off, if you want to be somebody that has an amazing physique, somebody that's six-pack shredded, somebody that has a good amount of muscle mass, somebody that's strong, what does that type of person look like? What are the things that they do? Okay, well, that person definitely isn't lazy, and they definitely don't eat whatever they want. They do whatever it's going to take in order for them to actually achieve that goal. And they don't waste time. But it's not that they don't just not waste time, but they also are very intentional about their rest and recovery. They make sure they're not spending a whole bunch of time doing a bunch of mental stimulation to make themselves feel good, instead of, they don't spend a whole lot of time just mentally masturbating and doing a lot of nothing. Instead, what they do, they spend time taking action, and they spend time resting and recovering so they can grow from that action you took. Because just like how when you go to the gym and you break down a muscle, you have to rest, you have to refuel so that muscle can grow and get stronger. Okay, when you push your mind, you need rest at nighttime so that your mind can recover as well. Your mind is a muscle just like your bicep, just like your chest, whatever it may be. And if you're not giving yourselves time to relax, to think, to breathe, you're not going to be able to move forward, because you're going to get too caught up in all the stuff that's going on with this life. Now, it doesn't mean you now need to be just sitting around all the time and doing a whole lot of nothing, because if you're doing a whole lot of nothing, then all you're doing is resting, and there's no stress, there's nothing you're pushing towards for that rest to actually be able to recover you, to actually be able to grow your mind. But you need to work backwards. You need to think to yourself, what the person that I want to become, my dream life, what does that life look like, and what does that person do? Well, that person is definitely a lot healthier. That person definitely has a lot more of cardiovascular endurance. That person definitely has a lot more time to train when they want to. That person is definitely a lot smarter about the way that they spend their money. They don't waste their money on snacks and a bunch of bullshit that they don't need. Instead, if they go to the gas station and they walk inside, they might buy an energy drink. They might buy a small snack like a Belvita cracker or coconut water, whatever it may be. But they're not gonna go buy a bunch of donuts, a bunch of candy, a bunch of stuff that they might not just need calorie-wise, but they don't need to spend financially. And just because you can't afford it, doesn't mean you need to be spending it. You're gonna be putting that money aside for something so much greater. You'd be putting that money aside for a future goal. Maybe it's a car that you wanna get. Maybe you wanna get healthier, so now you wanna start to add on supplements. Maybe you're at a position in your life where you wanna hop on a cycle and you finally wanna take some sort of performance-enhancing drug that's gonna take you to that next level, whatever it may be. But you don't need to be wasting all this money on a bunch of bullshit that you don't really need. And this is something that I've struggled with for so long. It's something as simple as every time I walk into the gas station, I wanna buy the whole damn store. And even if I can afford it in that moment, that doesn't mean I need to be spending the money. Just because I can afford to go out and get fast food one day, and even if it's from a healthy fast food place, it doesn't mean I need to be spending that money. Now, every once in a while, it's fine to go out and enjoy yourself and go get a Chipotle bowl, go get a Wahoo's bowl, whatever it may be, go get a Kava bowl. But you don't need to be spending money on going out to eat every single day, even if you can't afford it. There's so many healthy options that you can get for so cheap at a grocery store. I'm talking, dude, beef and rice, one of my favorite meals. It's like $10 for a pound of ground beef. You can get a bag of rice that will last you a week, $5, $6. What are we looking at? $70 plus, even with tax now, $85 for the week. Now you have half of your meals covered. The rest, you can get yourself some chicken breasts, some more rice, some potatoes. For $150 in a week, you can have a sustainable bulk. We're not talking about a cut, we're talking about a sustainable bulk that's going to get you amazing gains, keep you healthy, and is financially stable. But if you're instead spending all this money on McDonald's, Wendy's, all these other fast food places, Taco Bell, whatever it may be, you might think it's cheap, you might think you're saving money, but what is that food filled with? It's filled with a whole bunch of toxins. It's filled with a whole bunch of soy oil. All these things are gonna drag you down. It's gonna cause your body to not be as healthy. It's gonna cause your mind to not be as healthy. And what happens when your body and mind are not as healthy? You make poor decisions. You make bad choices. And then you start to miss your training more. And then you start to feel a little bit worse. And then you slowly start to become less confident. You become more insecure. You start to hate yourself more. And this isn't something, it's not like you just eat the McDonald's one time and now you feel awful. And now if you've been on a healthy streak, if you go and eat McDonald's one time, you probably are gonna feel pretty bad. But even if you don't, it's something that happens gradually and then catches up to you before you even realized it. And the next thing you know, you don't even know what the problem was because you were doing a bad habit for so long and it was only creeping up on you so slowly for so long that you never had time to actually realize it was creeping up on you until it was too late. And then you get stuck in this denial stage where you just don't want to accept that something that you enjoy is causing the problem. But do you really even enjoy the fast food? I mean, I want you to really think about it. Like, do you really even enjoy the fast food? You might enjoy driving there, going out and doing something and getting it, but do you enjoy eating it? Does it really taste that good? I mean, seriously, think about it. Every time you go and you walk into a convenience store, gas station, 7-Eleven, whatever it may be, and then you go buy a bunch of snacks, and then you eat them. And even if you enjoy them in the moment, how do you feel after? Even if you don't feel after, even if you don't feel bad after physically, how do you feel mentally knowing that you just spent a bunch of money on calories that you didn't need to spend? You probably look at it and you probably think, well, that was kind of stupid. I didn't really need that. Did that move me forward towards my goals at all? No, not really. It just kind of stimulated my brain for a minute, distracted me from the pain I'm feeling in life, and then I just went back to feeling the same, to even worse, because now I feel the same but with less money. It might only be $10, $12. But then you do that every single day or just multiple times a week. That adds up. And next thing you know, you might have spent $200 to $400 in the month on stuff that you just don't need. You might be buying 1 million energy drinks in the gas station just because you like the flavor of them, not even for the caffeine. And then all of a sudden you feel all stressed and anxious because of all the caffeine you're consuming, when you don't even want the caffeine, you just want something that tastes good. When instead you could be having something like water with just putting some lemon juice in it. And you're going to enjoy it. It might not be as good tasting as the energy drink, but I guarantee you're gonna feel better. And you're gonna have a whole lot more money in your account that can be spent towards something of greater value, something that's actually gonna propel you forward in life into these new goals. And here's the great thing about this, is that as soon as you start to build up these good habits, you're gonna turn into the person that is able to do things when they say they're going to do them, which means you're gonna feel more confident when you start a goal. You're gonna feel more confident when you tell yourself, I am going to do this and it's going to work out. In the beginning, you might not be so confident. You might not feel like it's gonna work out. And it's gonna take time to build that up. But it's never just gonna fall out of the sky. It's never going to. And if you think it's just gonna fall out of the sky, then you're stuck in a delusion. I know they say you need to be delusional in order to actually win in this life, but you can be delusional in so many different ways. You can be delusional in the fact that you're saying that, oh yeah, I'm gonna be successful even though all the odds are against you. Or you can be delusional in the fact of saying, I'm gonna be successful even though you're doing all these bad habits. And if you're able to be delusional by saying you're gonna be fine while simultaneously doing all the bad habits, then you're able to be delusional while doing good habits and saying that you're gonna make it work even if it doesn't feel like it's going to. Because what's gonna happen is eventually you're gonna realize, if you just calm down, breathe, and know that your actions that you take every single day are the proper steps forward to success, to whatever that goal may be, it's going to work out in the end, and it will. Because you told yourself it will, and you're going to make it happen. Because no one in this life puts all their effort into something and then just gets absolutely nothing from life and just absolutely fails over and over and over. I know it might feel like every time you take one step forward, you fall 2 steps backwards. But if that's happening, it's because you got to look at your actions around you. You got to look at the things that's happening around you. You got to look at what you're doing every single day. It's probably not one big thing that's causing you to fall back. It's probably a bunch of little things that are just stacking up over and over and over again and causing it to all fall down like this domino effect. And now next thing you know, all the hard work you did feels like nothing. But it wasn't all for nothing, because you can never truly start back from zero, because every time you start, you're starting with a new experience. And that new experience is going to allow you to grow more and more and more and become more successful. And you're only going to get better and better and better, and you're only going to work faster and faster and faster. But you need to establish yourself. What is the life that you want to live? How do you want to look? How do you want to feel? And what are you going to do about it? Because if you do whatever it takes, if you just lock in for the next 3 to 6 months, if you just get on a clean diet with proper macros, with proper training, proper sleep, proper hydration, throw in a few supplements here and there, you're gonna get more progress than you ever could have imagined. And next thing you know, when you walk by that mirror, it's not gonna be you just envisioning a goal that you wish you had in your mind. You're gonna be walking by that mirror and you're gonna see that goal in real life. You're gonna see your body looking the way you always dreamed of it to look. You're not just gonna be hoping that someday it's gonna fall out of the sky. You're gonna be taking the action and knowing that it's going to work out. Because you're not gonna let life happen to you. You're gonna make sure you control what happens from life. You're not gonna let life take its goals from you. You're gonna take your goals from life, and they are going to come to you. And everything you ever wanted everything you could have ever thought of, all those dreams, all those aspirations you had, they will be yours. But only if you take the steps that it takes in order to actually get there. If you don't take your goals from this life, life is going to take away your goals from you.